Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. I think I have an incredible video for you guys today. Yes, it's Saturday, but the game don't stop for us investors. So I've been doing some research, and as I've always said to you guys, keep a diverse portfolio. In doing so, you will always be ahead of the game. Now, I want to talk about something that I've been touching on most of my Neo videos and other videos. And I hope you guys have been paying attention, because I truly believe that this will add greatly to our portfolio. I spoke about Bitcoin very early on, and I said when I was speaking about it, I was working for the transportation system in Philadelphia, and guys were laughing at me. They were putting nuts and bolts and washers on my table because I was a mechanic at the time working on the trains, and they were saying, ha ha ha, here's your Bitcoin. Okay, so who's laughing now? Now I want to bring something to you guys' awareness, something huge that's brewing in the wind that I truly believe is about to happen. So let's get into it. Right now, as we know, there are Bitcoin ETF futures. So you can't buy into a Bitcoin ETF, but you can buy into futures. And ARK Invest have one such. However, apart from other companies, the SEC is getting ready to vote on January 15th, on the first approving Bitcoin ETF, not futures, a true Bitcoin ETF. Now, BlackRock, as well as ARK Invest through Cathie Wood, and a couple other huge companies have been heavily requesting and filing for a Bitcoin ETF, and some of them have dropped out from filing. They gave up, so to speak. But listen to what Cathie Wood said. So she also said that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust will lose an edge when a Bitcoin ETF is approved. This was her own words. And however, investors are sitting out the ETF futures. She also have a ETF futures, as spot Bitcoin fund hangs in limbo. So they're waiting to see, these huge investors are waiting to see, instead of investing in futures, they want to see if the SEC is going to approve it in January, which looks very likely. Then they're going to jump in on an actual spot Bitcoin ETF, because, like I said this before, institutional investors look at the long term. They invest for the long term, and they invest a lot of people money, like pension funds and stuff, they look towards the long term. Just like with Neo, these huge institutions like BlackRock, like Bailey Gifford, like Ray Dalio Fund, Bridgewater and Associates, they invest looking for the long term. They're making the billions in the long term. So anyway, the SEC, they said, Cathie Wood said, filed a number of times this summer. She said that the SEC actually asked questions this time, and educated questions. And she said that they meaning the SEC is engaged now. So she said the SEC is actually engaged now, whereas whenever you filed in the past for a Bitcoin ETF, it would just be denied. It would just be denied. And then they started asking questions, but now they're asking educated questions, which makes her very bullish, and it makes her to be very looking towards the future in a positive way. So she said the research side of the SEC towards Bitcoin knows that, she said they knows what they're talking about. So they actually have a research team now with the SEC that knows a lot about crypto and digital currency, and are asking the educated questions. So when they ask these questions, if they like what they heard, then you know what's going to happen, right? She says, and the level of sophistication of their questions suggests now that they are moving deeply into this. ARK answered back and have not heard anything back. So ARK Invest, they asked them a lot of questions. They were also asking BlackRock a lot of questions, and they have not heard nothing back, which she said is a good sign, because normally it would just be, nope, disapproved again. BlackRock also got questioned by the SEC, like I just said, and their filings of their ETF spot Bitcoin Cathie Wood ETF is first in line because they kept filing whilst others gave up. And January 10th, that's the deadline for when the SEC will say whether they approve it or not, is the final deadline. The SEC will either approve or deny it. If approved, it will be a number of filings at once. So if it gets approved, the SEC will approve. There's more than one filings right now, so they will approve multiple of them at the same time. And of course, a lot of other institutions will file right away. Excuse me, guys. When this happens, the price of Bitcoin will most likely, and other cryptos, like I've been saying, guys, will go up, up, up. Cathie Woods bought into Bitcoin at $250 a coin. Remember, Cathie Woods love investing into disruptive innovation and into anything that will take a large market share using technology. That's why she invested into Tesla and the electric car industry early on. Now she's totally different to Warren Buffett form of investing, which isn't good, which isn't bad. Warren Buffett loves to invest in what he understands, brick and mortar. Remember, up till this day, he bashes cryptocurrency because he's from a different era, and nothing's wrong with that. He is the Oracle of Omaha, right? So she invested at $250. Now it's $36,685 at the time of this recording. At one point, it was, I believe, $50,000 for one. Anyway, she said a base case for when the SEC approves this, a base case for crypto accelerating up is $650,000 for one in the future. That's just a base case. So she's looking to $1 million or more for one coin. Only 21 million coins ever to be minted. So no more will be minted around 21 million coins. If approved by SEC, institutions will feel like the cost is clear. So they will start jumping in, further pushing up cryptocurrency. They will feel like the cost is clear to pursue, and institutions have been researching cryptocurrency. Now the key word here is institutions have been researching cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. So I want you guys to understand and look ahead, just like these huge institutions that invest into these companies and into asset classes like this. They look towards, and let me say this again, to future projections. Like a lot of people in terms of with NEO is saying, oh, they're not making profit, it's not a profitable company, they're going to go bankrupt, blah, 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 blah. Right? So they don't have vision, they're uneducated, so they only they'll buy a huge corporation for $250 a share that's almost maxed out, but they will not invest into new startups like what BlackRock and these huge corporations do. But the key word here is institutions have been researching crypto. Why is that so important? Why is that keyword so important? Is because they're not just researching Bitcoin. That tells me that these ETFs in the future will also probably contain other cryptos like Ethereum, like Dogecoin, like Litecoin, like Bitcoin Cash, etc., making the asset class huge. So there's many ways of playing this. You can buy into a Bitcoin ETF after the SEC approves it, not a Bitcoin ETF future, but a Bitcoin ETF spot. So that's one that will contain actual Bitcoins. So for a while, and agree, they have been researching it for a while, institutions, and agree that it is a new asset class. Now check this out. And Cathie Wood was the first to not only recognize this is an asset class, that Bitcoin is a new asset class, like gold, like silver, etc., like platinum, but they also were the first to write a paper on this, recognizing it and saying that it's an asset class. And she also went on to say recently it can be a hedge against both inflation and deflation. So I also saw recently on Bloomberg that Sui Chung, who is the CEO of CF Benchmarks, it is not a matter of if or when, but what will be the impact when the SEC approves this? Just like I was talking about recently about marijuana, it's not a matter of if, but when, and what will be the impact financially for investors like us. But anyway, I'm going to do another video on that later on. Right now and in the past, price have been volatile. However, with approval by the SEC, it may be a more stable valuation. So, of course, it will skyrocket, but it will be more stabilized than huge swings from 50 to 10,000 and so forth. So, according to Bloomberg, has the market already priced in what is anticipated? But Chung said that with the approval, there will be an inflow of money, perhaps in the billions. Again, the institutions will be looking not into the short term, but into the long term, as opposed to individual investors. Now, I'm not saying that if you own Bitcoin or any other crypto, and you own a lot of it, and this thing goes up to where you can make $1 million, you'd be a fool not to sell. That's what I will do. But anyway, guys, right now, Dogecoin, since I've been talking about this and hearing the news about this possible ETF being approved for the first time, I was talking about Dogecoin was around 6 pennies. Now it's up to 8 pennies. I'm telling you guys, please keep your eyes on this. Ethereum is up. It's $1,957. Litecoin is up to $69.63. So a lot of them are moving up on the prospects of this happening. Now, what I see happening is, if this is approved, of course, Bitcoin will skyrocket. The other coins will go up. I don't know how high. I believe they will all go up considerably. Then there'll be a pullback, but eventually in the long term, these coins will be humongous. So I hope you guys found this video informational, inspirational as usual. If you did, guys, don't forget to give it the thumbs up. It'll help encourage me to keep doing videos like this for you guys. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we get rich. We have that warrior mindset. We get rich or we die trying, guys.